Oh shit, we live! Alright. Welcome to, it's the first edition of Late Night Live. This isn't really an official thing. This is just me fucking around, getting a little hammered with the Facebook Live. I don't do this very often. I'm gonna do it more. They tell you you have to. Best social media best practices. Get your numbers up. Anyway, I'm gonna bust out. I got this, this Jack Daniels Single Barrel Select. It was a birthday gift from my uncle. If you listen to the episode, I think it was the last one, the liberal cannibalism and PC silliness, I was complaining about how my parents got me a fucking fishing pole, and I don't actually fish because, you know, I don't know. I don't fucking fish. I live in a fucking. I hang out at the beach, but I live in a fucking city. Like, I go to the beach, I want to get, I want to escape and get away from all the bull. I don't want to go fucking bait a fucking hook, whatever. Anyway, that same day, my uncle got me this, and it's delicious. Single Barrel Select Tennessee Whiskey is the signature offering in our Jack Daniels Single Barrel collection. This is some delicious motherfucking shit right here. It's fucking sweet. I was out of ice cubes. I actually have to clean out my freezer because it's just frosted over like a motherfucker. But I don't even need them for this. I was going to use my whiskey stones, but they're buried in the frost, so I'll find them tomorrow. Anyway, going out of the, got this, you can see, it's a pretty boss glass. The Savage Crew. Ow, 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 I feel like, I don't know, the name The Savage Crew, a little bit gay. Everyone's using the word savage now. They fucking ruined it. Fucking urban teenagers with their goddamn dank memes ruined the word savage for everybody. But we're already branded, so what the fuck are you gonna do? Anyway, if you got a little booze on you, raise a fucking glass. I don't know, there's two people watching right now, so I don't know what the fuck you're up to. Anyway. Oh, that's fucking tasty. What's going on? So Game of Thrones started the season Sunday night. And then the big news today, was Juice is getting set free. OJ, Orenthal James, American hero. I'll get to do that in a minute, but this, I thought the premiere was decent. I'm interested to, don't go to dinner at Walter Frey's house. It's just not gonna fucking end well. But their Confederate poses test over race for Game of Thrones creators and HBO. People are in a fucking uproar over the fact that the Game of Thrones creators are gonna be doing a high-concept drama from the creators of Game of Thrones set in an alternate America where the southern states seceded from the Union and slavery continued to the present day. Oh my. Yeah, people are fucking pissed. They're calling out HBO and the creators over how they'll handle the volatile mix of race politics and history. Several historians and cultural critics. That's how you know it's a load of shit, right? If it's historians and cultural critics doing it, basically what that's code for a bunch of fucking dorky liberal nerds who hang out on college campuses and have no real life experience. But they're skeptical about whether Game of Thrones team David Benioff and D.B. Weiss are the right people to address the subject, and if it should be attempted at all. And that's it. These are the ones who want to control who fucking speaks about what, who creates what. Yeah, they're skeptical about whether the guys with the most fucking successful popular TV show can do this the right. Aren't they like the ones? Wouldn't you be like, oh, they're gonna make a fucking show about this super sensitive topic. Who should we get? Oh, you want to get the best guys. Well, who's got the best show? Oh, Game of Thrones is like the most popular fucking show. Like, isn't that... How is that thought process lost on these jackasses? Anyway. This is from the failed New York Times, by the way. Confederate arrives at a time when many minorities feel their civil... Did I say minorities? Like I'm with the fucking BBC, Sky News. Minorities feel their civil rights are under siege. What the fuck is that? Their civil rights are under siege. Like, I know this is the whole thing now is that it's fucking Trump is evil. Unless you're here illegally, Donald Trump really isn't doing shit to you, and maybe some of the people coming from the desert place across the ocean. But I mean. The guy doesn't even accomplish anything. All these people who are afraid of Trump and this is the end of the world and he's a Nazi and all this bullshit. The guy literally, he controls all three fucking branches. He's got the fucking, he's got the executive and the legislature. He's like a couple deaths away from having the Supreme Court and he still can't get shit done. What are you fucking people worried about? It's just a fucking contest to see who can be the most oppressed, I guess. Oh, Brian Munoz is watching. What's happening, homie? Go play some beach football with some big girls? Mr. Munoz and I once left DJs with some rather large ladies and played a game of beach football. I think I laid Rob out and ran for a touchdown. My team won 14-7. And then I made out with a really, really big fucking girl. And, but the lights were out, so, But she kept, every time I kept trying to take it a little further, she kept pushing me away. She's just like, I don't do that on the first hookup. I'm like, first of all, that's like the reason you hook up with with a tubbo, is to plow. You're not doing it for fun. She had an abortion. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, then Rob comes back and they pop the lights on and I looked at what I was doing and I was just I was disgusted with myself for like a week. Anyway, what was I talking about? Game of Thrones. Oh yeah, slavery. Slavery, a grave and long-standing, should not be trivialized for the sake of a fantasy TV series. Because they haven't made a million fucking movies about slavery already. Oh, what a fucking train wreck 2017 is. Anyway, where the fuck was I? That stuff is so fucking good. It's an emotional subject, and for too many people, it's uncomfortably close to the reality they already experience. There is no fucking way you're telling me that there are people who think that the reality they experience is like if the South had won the Civil War. That might be the most wild-ass fucking stupid statement I have ever heard in my fucking life. Really? If the South had won the Civil War and there was still slavery, you for sure wouldn't be able to hold fucking Black Lives Matter protests in the fucking streets. Fucking for sure. Fucking Al Sharpton wouldn't be in... Him and Reverend Jackson wouldn't be in business. What else? Oh, here the failed New York Times says the show's pedigree is already established. Yeah, the most watched series ever and the winner of an Emmy Award for Drama Series. These are the fucking guys, this is the fucking all-star team. These are the guys you want to do it. You fucking idiots. You don't want the shit guys making a show. Yeah, you get two fucking hicks from Alabama making a show about the South winning the Civil War. Of course it's going to be a fucking, like, celebratory, like, bunch of fucking overall-wearing, cousin fucking rednecks like blowing into their harmonicas and waving the fucking rebel flag. You want to get the Game of Thrones guys. They do it right. And the show sounds badass, too. Hypothetical events leading up to a third American Civil War. It would follow characters on both sides of the Mason-Dixon demilitarized zone, including freedom fighters, slave hunters, politicians, abolitionists, journalists, the executives of a slave-holding conglomerate like Walmart. This is fucking great. This is going to be the coolest fucking show. And it's the Game of Thrones guys, so you know you're probably going to see some titty in it. Sign me up. In their time on Game of Thrones, they've been criticized for what some viewers regard as the routine and insensitive depiction of rape, and an over-reliance on sexual violence as a plot device. Well, first of all, some of that sexual violence has been happening to men. 2x2. Lane Bryant. Yes, Munoz is cool with me telling that story. Thank you, sir. I think we down to 0 viewers now? Nice. Anyway. Leering at the camera like that probably isn't the best look for me. With fucking half-eye over here. Who's the fat black actor with the busted eye? Same team, homie. Anyway. They've been criticized for over this. They're saying their insensitive depiction of rape. How can you make there a sensitive depiction of rape? Like, what's the guy do? Lay her down, give her a massage, and forcibly make love to her while listening to fucking Barry White? An over-reliance on sexual violence as a plot device. Yeah, but that's like dudes getting offed too. What's his name? Theon Greyjoy got his fucking dick cut off. So this isn't, that's just what it is. It's based on a fucking book. Like, they didn't write the story, they just fucking put it on camera for people who are too lazy to read. Anyway. Thrones features few black actors in prominent roles. Bullshit. That is absolute bullshit. First of all, fucking Grey Worm is the leader of the fucking Unsullied. Probably that's an incredibly important role. Who's the hot brown chick? She works for Khaleesi. The one that Grey Worm wants to fuck if he had balls. And I don't mean balls like he's a pussy. I mean he's the Unsullied are whatchamacallit, they're castrated. So there's 2 in very prominent roles. There were 2 other big ones. There's the pirate that hangs out with the Onion Knight. Which, by the way, that pirate is one of the what's his name? Salador San? Is that it? And he's like known as this fucking badass fucking pirate. He's the fucking man. And then the other guy was he hangs out at the House of the Undying. I think he was around. He's the one that he basically wanted to buy Khaleesi as his wife, and she was like, "No, get the fuck out of here." And then I think she's like fucking one of her handmaidens, one of those slutty fucking brown Dothraki chicks that was hanging out with her. And then whatchamacallit, she locked them in that room, jacked all their gold, and used it to buy a bunch of boats. It's fucking savage. There you have power dynamics between a woman and a black... Game of Thrones could not be any more fucking inclusive, you fucks. Anyway. What else? What was that? Yeah, a population of dark-skinned slaves was liberated by a white savior. That's Game of Thrones they're talking about again here in the failed New York Times. That was Khaleesi rescuing a population. Was it a Marine or one of the slave city? But that's... And this is great because it's liberals getting their fucking brains twisted into a pretzel. They don't... It's a woman freeing the slaves, but they don't know if they should celebrate it because it's the accomplishment of a woman, or if they should be furious because it's slaves being liberated by a white savior. Dude, liberal guilt is one of the funniest things in the world. Here we go. Another one of these nerdy academics. Eric Foner, Columbia University history professor and Pulitzer Prize-winning author of The Fiery Trial, Abraham Lincoln, and American Slavery. Eric Foner, Columbia University, yeah, that bastion of fucking logic and intelligent thought, where they had that jackass walking around with the mattress on her back after she falsely accused that German dude of rape and, like, ruined his life. And they were just like, yeah, it's cool. You can do that. No, he doesn't get to have a lawyer at the hearing. And if you defend him, you're defending rape culture. Because white males. Anyway. This dipshit. Expressed dismay. You really? Really? You were expressing dismay at the producers of a fucking TV show? He expressed dismay. Game of Thrones, to me, is just an exercise in violence and sexual abuse and many other things that draw a crowd but don't have much redeeming social significance, Mr. Foner said in a telephone interview. Oh, they did a phoner with Foner? It's an inside industry joke for all of you who aren't watching right now. I mean, what's your fucking problem, bro? It's Sunday night HBO. You know what people want to see on Sunday night fucking HBO? They want to see violence and sex. Sometimes combined. Sometimes separate. But violence, yes. Sex, yes. Fuck you, dude. What do you watch? I don't have cable. I watch 60 Minutes on CBS. Outstanding, though. I hope they know more about the Civil War than they do about the medieval world. Another fucking jackass. It's fucking... They didn't invent the Game of Thrones world, you fucking shit fuck. And the show is not about the... It's about what would have happened if the South had won. It's just their guess. They're trying to figure it out. Trying to grapple with a tough idea. That there was the possibility that the South could have beaten the North. And that we'd either they might have advanced and the entire thing would have been the Confederacy would have created its own union, or it would have been divided along those lines. And there are some, I think, some fascinating fucking routes you can go down there. A demilitarized zone. Think of all the shit we take for granted. I mean, just in this past year, I've been down to Florida and New Orleans. What would that situation be like if the South had won? Could you travel south as a Northerner? This isn't ridiculous stuff to investigate. What would the North be doing? Would there be if there was still slavery in the South? Would we have an agreement, a treaty with the South that would say we will return escaped slaves? Like, there's interesting shit to get into here, and it's fucking absurd that these fucking liberal nerds, these social justice warriors, progressive douchebags, don't want this to happen. Game of the 16.1 million viewers across multiple platforms for the fucking season premiere. Why would you not want the guys who can do those numbers? Why would you not want them doing the show about this? Who better to try and tell this this story, to go down this road? This guy, fucking, we got some tweets. There were a number of fucking tweets about this. I got actually a whole stack here, but here's: some performers have already suggested that they want no part of a series like Confederate. The actor David Harewood, I don't know who the fuck that is, star of programs like Supergirl, Homeland, and The Night Manager. Oh, good, yeah. Wrote the Twitter, good luck finding black actors for this project. Oh, yeah, that's right. Everybody follow the lead of the guy from Supergirl and The Night Manager. Okay, bro. David Harewood. Jackass. Might be a fine actor, I have no idea. What do we got right now? 0, baby. That's what I like to see. For those who aren't joining us, welcome to Late Night Live. Sipping bourbon. It's booze in the news. Talking about Game of Thrones. They are doing, the creators of Game of Thrones are doing a series for HBO called Confederate. A lot of proggies out there. A lot of social justice warriors not happy about this. Alternate history can also prove to be unexpectedly provocative. The marketing campaign for Amazon's The Man in the High Castle, set in the America where Axis powers, which everyone's telling me, by the way, that Man in the High Castle is a beast of a show. I got to check it out. I am a Prime member, so I get to watch that for free, which is nice. And if you're not a Prime member, I would highly recommend you check it out. You can buy anything on Amazon Prime. It'll be at your house in like a day at most. You get it in a couple hours. Amazon Prime is the way to go. That is not a paid advertisement. That is just me talking about how much I love Amazon Prime. But it's where the Axis powers won World War II, and it was condemned for its prolific use of German eagles, iron crosses, and other fascist imagery. Because guess what? It was a show about how the Germans won World War II, and the Germans are very into putting on the show and the fucking pomp and circumstance and the swastikas and the marching and the uniforms and all that shit. One would think that they would keep that going after they had won World War II. Everyone would get into the sort of the esprit de corps of the Third Reich. But people just... This is so indicative of how kind of stupid we are as a society. People don't consider that, this, given its context, it's for this show, The Man in the High Castle. Given its context, yes, it would make sense to use Nazi imagery for a show that is, in fact, about Nazis. Does that not make sense? I don't know what the fuck is wrong with these idiots. And this other The Handmaid's Tale. They can't. I guess the liberals can't figure out where they're at on The Handmaid's Tale. It's about, if you don't know what it is, which if you don't have a vagina, you probably don't. The Handmaid's Tale is about these chicks who their job is pretty much just to get fucked and have kids for people. They're like slave chicks who exist for the purpose of getting fucked, I think. and women have been talking about it as like this. And I guess I'm sure there's like a powerful female in it who fucking does whatever she wants. I don't know. I don't watch this fucking shit. I don't have time. I jerk off and I listen to podcasts and I smoke pot. Anyway, I drink this bourbon. It's fucking great. And I talk into cameras when no one's listening. This is fun. Late night live. Anyway, but it's supposed to be empowering to women, but they're saying it's got a largely white cast. They can't make up their mind. They have to empower everybody in one shot. I don't get it. Like, you can't... Not everything can be for everybody. This guy from Fairfield is he's the only academic they've interviewed who doesn't have his head up his ass. So, Gabriel Rosenfeld from Fairfield University, if you're tuned in right now, I thank you for your commitment to logic and reason. Saying alternate history, some are going to be more controversial than others because some have more clearly defined heroes and villains, and then he's saying alternate history has a unique power to prick our conscience and make us realize that history didn't have to happen the way it did, which is what I mentioned before. It forces us to confront that our world was not inevitable, and that's important, right? Because there was no guarantee that the North was going to win the Civil War. Like, you don't. There's, generally speaking, that's why they play the game, as it were. So you look at the society we have now, and no matter what you say about the United States, we are the most free. You can do within reason almost anything. We do have some ridiculous laws and regulations and shit, and we probably self-police a little bit too much as well, I think. But across the board, the USA is fucking... This is it, man. As much as this country is fucking retarded and it'll annoy the shit out of you sometimes. Like I was saying, I just got back from Italy, and beautiful country, and I've lived abroad in Japan and Thailand. The only other place I think I could live maybe is Thailand, and there you get away with everything just because the fucking police are lazy. Not because it's really legal, it's just because no one gives a fuck. I would go, if I ever committed a felony, I assume Interpol will never see this, and, hopefully I never have to lam it, but Thailand, baby. You go, you find yourself a little like 95-pound mama-san. She cook for a man, clean for a man, fuck for a man. Oh yeah. Just eat shrimp and prawn and drink San Mig Lights all day while you lay bone into a 95-pound Thai chick. Don't ask if she used to be a dude. You don't want to know. Then you go down to the old corner store, the pharmacy. You get yourself some D-bowl, go for a lift, come back, eat some chicken and rice. Anyway, back to what I was. Oh, we have a new viewer has joined us. Welcome to Late Night Live, Booze and News. I'm drinking some delightful Jack Daniel's small batch. Oh, and you left. Oh well. Oh yeah. It's I guess it's hard to keep those eyeballs on the screen at 2:45. I was watching a bunch of late night TV. I'd catch Colbert before I leave work, and then I caught a little bit of the Daily Show. They're all trying to do Trump in person. It's all Trump this, Trump that. Just enough of the fucking Trump stuff. No one can do a good fucking Trump impersonation anyway. Just annoying. Anyway, yeah, they're bitching about this on Twitter. Let's go over some of these tweets, and then we'll talk about OJ. That HBO is willing to greenlight Confederate fanfic because it's It's Confederate fan fiction. Yeah, that's what it is. Because that's what HBO's gonna do. Like I said before, they're gonna put out a fucking an hour-long series once a week for a bunch of cousin fuckers down in Mississippi who have moonshine all over their fucking overalls and just want to fucking hoot and holler for fucking Jeff Davis. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it's for. This is one of those ideas that could end up amazing or absolutely... At least you gave the amazing, because I think this has the possibility to be a cool fucking show. Or absolutely cringeworthy. Cringeworthy. You know what's cringeworthy? People who use the phrase cringeworthy on social media and the internet. Fucking douchebags. I just fucking hate everybody. Where am I? Okay, here we go. Here's more. Oh, I love this. I love the fucking sass coming out of this. Oh, just dripping with such fucking progressive liberal snark. Confidential to HBO. Nobody on here thinks hashtag Confederate is a good idea, and it's got like 89 likes and like 300 retweets. Fuck you, David M. Lollard Fish. Oh, it's Lollard Fish, because I guess he's a fish that makes people go lol, because he's so funny with his little fucking liberal snark, you fucking cockmuncher. What a fucking douchebag. David M. Perry. He's even got a fucking smug sounding name. What a detest. You know what? This is the real basket of deplorables. Nobody on here thinks hashtag Confederate is a good idea. Yeah, that's because Twitter bans anyone who's anywhere to the right of Lena Dunham. You get banned from Twitter. I think Anthony Cumia was the latest victim. Milo before that. Who would have thought that a gay man who fancies himself a champion for gay rights would get banned from Twitter? Two white guys making a show where black slavery features prominently. This is profoundly tone deaf. That's Logan Rapp. Looks like a white dude. So what we call that is, that's virtue signaling. For those who don't know, virtue signaling is when people express their outrage over something purely because they want to let other people know that they're outraged. And it's a way of telling others, like a peacock showing its feathers. It's a way of showing off to others how virtuous you are, hence virtue signaling. And this Logan Rapp, at Logan Chance on the Twitter, profoundly tone deaf. Tone deaf. Oh, I fucking hate that one. Tone deaf. What a fucking... It's tone deaf. Really? They're gonna pump epic fucking fuck tons of money into this project. They've got the best fucking guys working on it, and it's HBO. They do an amazing job with everything. Even Girls, which is probably like the biggest dog shit piece of show ever, is critically acclaimed. The worst thing that HBO has ever made is considered by most to be a fucking great show. And this fucking cockmunch is calling it tone deaf. Unfazed. This is the next guy calls himself Unfazed. I don't know if you can call yourself unfazed if you're as phased as this motherfucker is by the idea of HBO making a show about something that you don't... I don't care if it's done tasteful. If it's done... He doesn't... This guy blows. He can't even write a fucking sentence. He says, I don't care if it is done tastefully as possible. Don't you mean as tastefully as possible? If you're going to jam your condescension down my throat, at least do it in a grammatically correct manner. By the way, I'm scratching my nose. This is not a pick. the very premise is disgusting. Especially now. Who are you pandering to? You know, they keep saying this, that like it's not the right time for this, that they shouldn't be doing this now. But what the fuck, man? The people, the guy who shot up the Republican baseball practice was a fucking Bernie Sanders, Black Lives Matter, like fucking left-wing zealot. The people trashing college campuses are all fucking left-wing liberal lunatics who are yelling about these safe spaces and fucking race and all this shit that they just obsess over, this identity politics. They're the ones who are doing all the fucking bad shit. So who are you, the fuck, to say, especially now, who are you pandering to? I'm not going to deny that people on the right and conservatives and Southerners, that whole kind of South will rise again crew, Southern you got some fucking dicks among you. We can acknowledge that. But that's more. They're more dicks in the way they kind of express themselves, and in like a legislation that they attempt to pass that always winds up falling flat on its face. But the ones who are acting violently are the left, man. Shooting up a fucking baseball practice. Doesn't get much more un-American than that. Jesus. You would need ISIS to fucking ejaculate on the American flag for things to get more un-American than shooting up a fucking baseball practice. Whatever, man. Oh. No viewers right now. I'm gonna take a quick look at the old Facebook page. Oh shit. We'll be back to doing news and booze in just a second. Let's see how it's going. Where's the Facebook Live, motherfucker? And it froze. What we got? Where is this shit? I can't even find myself on my own page. 1 second. Now I think I got it. It's cool. I guess if you're watching this afterwards, you just skip ahead like 45 seconds or so while I reload the page here. Just seeing how things are going. $14 views, man. Nobody's staying up late, baby. Alright. Should we go back to booze and news? I'm gonna pour myself another couple belts of this bourbon here. Do it. It's fucking. If you are a whiskey drinker, get down on this fucking Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Select because it is the bee's fucking knees. I am feeling all sorts of warm and gooey inside. And for those who didn't notice before, drinking out of my sweet fucking Savage Crew rocks glass. Compliments of my little bro and sis. Anyway. About enough for now. So the big news story of the day: OJ Simpson granted parole. Still don't know if he's gonna get out though. Oh, the juice does have. Just when you think he's off the hook, sometimes he surprises you. I mean, we thought he was off scot fucking free with that murder rap, right? Beat that, and then he gets busted for this. So who's to say he doesn't get into like a fucking thing? Like, if I'm him, I am from now until October 1st. I'm sitting on my fucking hands. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Please. You're welcome. Most polite motherfucker on the planet. Because did not expect the juice to be on the loose. He did drop. He dropped one little fucking gem that I mean, there were a couple chuckles throughout. One of the judges was apparently wearing a Kansas City Chiefs shirt, a tie. He was wearing a tie. That would be great. Yeah, it's not even a joke. I'm fucking ripped right now, if you can't tell. Anyway, this... I'm not... Again, I wish Jack Daniels was advertising me, but if you got to get down on this Jack Daniels single barrel, it is like... I mean, I feel like I'm just drinking maple fucking syrup. It is so sweet. Oh, yeah. Tastes like your grandmother's cunt. Anyway, you fucking... where was I? At one point, the murder defendant in the 1995 trial of the century set off a storm of sarcasm and incredulity on social media when he said, "I've basically spent a conflict-free life, you know?" That was probably the line of the fucking thing. Yeah, Juice spent a conflict-free life. Fucking say that with a straight face. But again, liberal brains in an absolute fucking pretzel, because here we have, I think, you know, it's obvious that Juice fucking chopped up Ron and Nicole. Yeah, there's no doubt there. I'm gonna get back to that in a second, but obviously, he done it. I know the glove did fit, so we had to acquit, but he done that shit. And he should have gone to jail for that. So what you have is it's really like the perfect liberal OODA loop fuck, because they want the reputed wife beater and woman killer to be in jail for the rest of his life, but at the same time he kind of got railroaded on this robbery and kidnapping thing and got like a bullshit fucking 3-decade sentence for something he only should have done a couple years for. So on one hand, you have OJ Simpson, the alpha male fucking celebrity 1% athlete who beat and eventually murdered his wife. And then on the other, you have the black man who in a completely different case was fucked over by the justice system. So if you were watching CNN this afternoon and tonight, it was literally like liberals just going in circles trying to figure out if they should be happy that the too long imprisoned black guy was getting out of jail, or if they should be pissed off that the football player that beat up and killed his wife was getting out of jail. It was fantastic. There is nothing like seeing a good liberal mental pretzel. Anyway, moving on. And for some of the younger followers here, you might not realize this. Juice was if you gotta watch the 30 for 30, the documentaries and stuff, because they're fucking great. Juice was the fucking man. He was in everything. What's his resume here? Monday Night Football commentator, Hertz rental car commercials, the Naked Gun, Nordberg. He's falling down like the stadium steps and he's getting a face full of cake. He's just this goofy, silly motherfucker. There's fucking Nordberg. You gotta understand that there were... I remember laughing my ass off at the Naked Gun movies when I was a kid. There was no way he could have killed someone. I made my fucking football number 32 because I was like, they can't accuse OJ. He didn't fucking do it. I was like, I want to be number 32. My buddy's dad was a cop. I'll never forget. My buddy's dad's a cop. We're leaving football practice one day. He's like, why'd you pick number 32? I was like, oh, for OJ Simpson. He's like, you're an idiot. Like, fucking, he's not wrong. What are you going to do? But yeah, it was, I refused to, I remember being excited when he was acquitted. Like, I'm probably one of the only white people in the country that was like, yeah, justice for OJ. I remember I was like cheering when I saw the white Bronco going down the street. Juice! That was when, I usually get furious when people talk about these things on social media, because it's usually everyone's sharing the same old fucking thing. But this was like the one where I was, this was the news event of my fucking childhood, is OJ with Al Cowlings cruising down the fucking highway and people holding up fucking signs cheering for juice. I don't even know who you would get that for these days. Maybe Bieber, Justin Timberlake, Drake, Taylor Swift. It would have to be of that category. So if you're younger and you're trying to figure out why people were so in love with OJ Simpson, put him on that level. Yeah, dude, fucking OJ. To this day, my dad gives me shit about the fact that I said that OJ was not guilty, and but I will say that a jury of his peers did acquit him. Big thank you to the one person who's tuned in right now. Thank you for joining me at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning on the East Coast. Well, I guess if you're watching on the West Coast, it's only about midnight. Feel free to say hello in the comments section. I am actually going to wrap it up in a second here. So I'll probably be on Facebook Live again at some point tomorrow to promo and tease the latest episode of the podcast. It's called Toxic Masculinity. Basically what I'm going to be talking about is this fucking bullshit where if you have a dick and you act like an alpha male, it's a bad thing now. You can't have a... There's no room left in America for anyone with a pair of balls. They call it toxic masculinity. It's fucking bullshit. And my latest podcast episode is about that, and my a few highlights from my trip to Italy. If you're watching and you just can't wait, it's thesavagecrew.libsyn.com is where you can find it. Click, download, listen. Otherwise, I will catch you tomorrow. I'm going to scratch my nose here, and then that's it. We done, baby.